Welcome everyone to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's that time again, guys. It is time for All-Star Race Weekend in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, and like we did last season, we are going to do qualifying coverage for this, the running of the Season 24 Castrol GTX Winston All-Star Race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, here's how the procedure will go. The selected car that is a single car qualifying, of course, and of course the car that comes out will have to take the green flag for its first lap, and at the end of the first lap, he or she does, he or she will come in for a pit stop, make a pit stop, that is, and then we'll do after pit stop is done, they will complete the second lap. The second lap will obviously be slower than the first, obviously. And there's no speed limit on pit road, of course. You can fly down through there at about maybe 180 miles an hour if you want to, and try to send it like Kyle Larson a year or so back. But of course the laps will average out, and of course the fastest average lap will have the pole position for the race. So that being said, here comes the first car out to qualify. So qualifying is underway, and first up to qualify here for today's race here is the winner, the man who punched his ticket at the last race on the tour at Sonoma, California on the road course. It's Shearer, car 00, the Amsterdam Machine Toyota. He's the first car up today. There are some paint schemes that are going to be run at this event too. Some different paint schemes than usual. Hey, it's the All-Star race. Hey, it's the All-Star race, so you can't go through it without something special happening here. You saw Shearer make a little move, come off turn number 4, and kind of tap the wall a little bit. He's on his first lap here as he comes through turns 1 and 2. A little bit high off the second turn, keeps off the wall there. Now he'll have to make his pit stop, of course, on this very lap, obviously. And let's see how fast Kev will make it down pit road. You remember last season he overshot his pit and had to start dead last, and he still ended up winning the race last season too. So you remember that as well. Kev will come across his first lap 156.608 miles per hour, and the Andrew goes to work on the car. 4 tires and a splash of gas is what of course it's everybody's gonna do on each pit stop. Pit stop looks pretty good, but ooh, I don't think he's going to like it. 15.3 on the pit stop. You're going to see some pit crews, of course, pull off some 14-second stops, obviously, and of course the 15, that's going to hardly even do. Shearer's going to have to send it on the second lap, obviously, and let's see how he does. We might see a second lap at about maybe around 88, 89, maybe over 90 miles per hour, and that's usually the norm on the second lap in the qualifying. At least it was last season. Shearer comes across second lap, and the second lap is tallied at 88.806 miles an hour. So the average lap speed for Shearer, 122.707 miles an hour. So for now, Shearer, the first car out to qualify, and of course he holds the pole for the moment. We'll see how the second car does. So Shearer completes his qualifying run, and up on the track right now is Matt Haas, car number 18, the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. Second season in a row he's made the All-Star race. He last season made the All-Star race by virtue of winning at Rockingham. This season he got his ticket. He punched his ticket at Talladega, the Winston 500, and an exciting finish in that event, as it always is at Talladega, obviously. And Haas will bring the car off turn number 4, the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. That is a 1997 Pontiac he's driving, a Bobby Labonte car, that is. Brings the car through the first and second turns, keeps the car stuck about low to middle of the groove. Which I think a lot of people will probably be running that kind of a groove here, obviously, at Charlotte, as you see what kind of a track it is. And Haas should be coming on the pit road right now, so as he comes down pit road. We've seen no problems of anybody coming on pit road just yet, though. Shearer, remember, did not overshoot his pit this time. And a 157.352 on the first lap for Matt Haas. That's faster on the first lap by Shearer. We'll see if the pit crew can deliver. The Interstate Batteries crew goes to work on the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. Joe Gibbs Racing is what this team is. Of course, they run two Pontiacs, or they run two Toyotas and a Pontiac, which is a bit of an oddball combination, but it seems to get the job done. And a 14.6 second pit stop. That's a faster pit stop than what Shearer's team did. So that 18 car looking pretty good for the pole for the moment. We'll see if the second lap is faster than the second lap by the 00 car, which that first lap looked pretty good. We'll see if the second lap is any better. We'll see if it go through turns 3 and 4. He gets that car on the bottom of the racetrack. Off turn number 4 he comes, and he'll drift it away from the wall. It's cross start finish line, and it is pole run. 89.757 the second lap. 797, excuse me. Average speed of 123.574. So that puts Matt Haas number 1 at the moment. So fourth car up on the track right now is car number 25, the winner at Darlington this season. Actually, third car track, excuse me, not fourth. It's the Darlington winner, Phil Parker, the Raging Cajun, as he is known to some people, including moi. Driving the UAW Delphi Chevrolet is what he's driving this race. Driving a car out of Hendrick Motorsports. Usually you see Phil in the number 5 car sometimes, but when he's not driving the 5, he can be seen driving the 25 in some ways. Phil on his first lap here as he comes off turn number 4 gets a little, brings the car to a slow speed here as they come on the pit road. Like I said, he can fly it through there, but as long as he can do it safely in some ways, not like I said, not try to send it like Kyle Larson did a couple of years back in the All-Star qualifying, if you remember. 159.617 was the first lap for Phil. That's faster than the first laps we've had so far. We'll see what Phil does on lap number 2. Pit stop for Phil Parker, a 14.8. That's pretty good. 2 14-second stops in a row, one by Matt Haas and the other by Phil Parker. Haas has the quickest stop so far at 14.6. So really a modest difference as far as the pit stops are concerned, only 0.2 of a second. The pit stops by the crew could sometimes make a difference, but it depends on how the driver does on the second lap in some ways too, to combine the laps as we saw. Parker's going to need to beat a 123.574 by Matt Haas. Average lap, that is. Second lap for Phil Parker, 89.864. That's slower than Haas's second lap. But the average still comes out to be a pole run of 124.740 miles per hour. So Phil Parker currently sits number 1 at the moment after 3 cars. So 3 cars have qualified so far out of the 14 that have shown up here. And here comes the number 4 car. Here comes the 4th car on the track right now. It is Zach Rogers, car 33, the Skull Bandit Chevrolet. 3-time winner so far this season. His wins came he scored wins at Richmond. He also scored at Bristol. And he scored at Texas earlier this season. He currently sits number 4, I think 3rd or 4th in the points coming into this race. That car's been very, very strong this season so far. Last few runs have not quite shown it, though, but Rogers has got himself a really good team this season. Takes the Skull Bandit Chevy in the 3rd turn. Here he comes in he's about to come in for his pit stop. Taking it very carefully, as has a lot of the others so far. Rogers making it into the entrance. First lap of 159.255. So that's slower than what Phil Parker's first lap was for qualifying. Skull crew goes to work on the number 33 Skull Bandit Chevrolet. Pit stop. We've seen 2 straight so far in the 14-second range by the 18 and the 25 crews. See what the 33 crew does on this pit stop, a 14.9. So So Rogers comes back out onto the racetrack here. Gets a little squirrely a little bit coming off pit road. That might, I don't know if that's going to cost him or not on the second lap. But Rogers trying to see what he can do here on the second lap of qualifying. Average lap he needs to beat is a 124.74. That's the average lap to beat. Set by Phil Parker. Here he comes off turn number 4. Rogers foot flat to the floor and 91.038 on lap 2, and that's going to be pole for Zach Rogers. 125.146 miles an hour for the average. So great second lap by Zach Rogers as he puts the Skull Bandit Chevy on the pole with 4 cars into the books. So up on the racetrack right now, we got car 43. It is Mike Becker on the racetrack right now. The STP Pontiac as he makes his way through the 3rd and 4th turns now. Becker punched his ticket into the All-Star race by winning one of the biggest races of the season, the Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway. Becker off turn number 2, the STP Pontiac, out near the King Richard Petty colors. On that machine as he goes through turns 3 and 4. Here he comes off turn number 4. And he'll make his way on the pit road. Let's see what happens here. And gets a little wide on the entrance. In fact, touches the grass and almost spins the car out. Becker somehow managed to keep it under control and now speeds it on. It has to speed it down pit road. And that was not a good first lap because of that entrance of 144.509. He's really going to have to send it on lap 2. And judging the normal laps, as we said, about somewhere between 88 to 91 miles an hour on the second lap, that's not going to be likely, obviously. He'll get the pole. But after all, Kev Shearer screwed up on his pit stop lap, and he somehow ended up winning the race. And that pit stop did not help neither. A 15.1 for Mike Becker, and that is the second slowest stop of the whole thing. Kev Shearer had the slowest pit stop at 15.3. So Becker driving that car through the 3rd and 4th turns and drove that 3rd turn actually pretty hard. Let's see what happens off the 4th turn. Not going to be a pole run, but judging by the first lap, obviously. Let's see what the second lap is going to be. Second lap is right there with the best, though. 90.668 on the second lap. So the second lap here, but despite lap 2, the average is still slowest at 117.588. So as it ends up here, so 5 cars have qualified, and we have still got quite a few left to go for qualifying for the Winston. So next up on the racetrack right now is the man who won at Atlanta this season. That is Quinten Moore, the number 89, racing with Jesus Dodge out of Faith Motorsports. That's Morgan Shepherd's team he's driving. Morgan Shepherd, of course, Quinten's favorite driver. Of course, then again, who doesn't like Morgan Shepherd? Let's just face it. His car on the racetrack right now, I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the same car he raced at Atlanta with that he's bringing to Charlotte for both the All-Star race and the 600, because that car was a rocket ship. Maybe it's Atlanta set up on steroids. I don't know. The engine sounds really good going down the backstretch, obviously. Let's see how it goes. How it does on pit road. Quinten bringing it in very carefully as in the number 89 team, to the attention of his crew. First lap for Quinten Moore comes in at 159.18 miles per hour. Very decent first lap, without question, as it's right up there with some of the best ones we've had on the first lap as the pit crew goes to work on that Dodge. And he'll come on the pit road. That was a very slow stop by the crew. 15.8 And Quinten's not going to like that out of his pit crew without question. Now he's really going to have to send on lap. He's really going to have to make a very good lap 2, about up to the realm of what we saw out of Zach Rogers at over 91 miles an hour. And that car's got the speed to do it, but I don't know if it's got the. That pit stop might have cost Quinten maybe a second or two. Off turn 4, Quinten goes. He'll cross the start-finish line. And 89.506. That puts his lap average at 124.343 miles per hour. So Quinten Moore could have been worse for him, but he could have screwed up on his pit entrance. But but nonetheless, that 89 car is up there amongst the top 5 for the moment. Next up on the track right now is car number 98. That's Seth Cole, the K-Love Ford. He's up on the racetrack right now. The man who punched his ticket into the All-Star race by winning at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, the Auto Club 400. Seth takes the green flag for his first lap of the race. He's the last race winner to qualify, by the way, because the rest of them will be current or former champions that will qualify. And we'll start out, of course, with the Season 1 champion, Dillon Poteet, who's next up on the track right after Seth Cole. Average lap to beat so far, 125.146, set by Zach Rogers. And Seth will make his way onto the racetrack right now. He comes down there very fast there, 159.058. That's the first lap for Seth Cole. I'll bring it to the attention of the K-Love crew as he comes on the pit road. Fastest pit stop we've seen so far for the crew, a 14.6 set by Matt Haas's team. And that's stop for Seth Cole, a 14.9. That's the pit stop for Seth Cole. Not a bad stop. Equals what Zach Rogers did at least. So that could bode well for the president of the NNSCRA. We'll see what happens here as he comes down off turn number 2. He's in the high gear now, thundering for the checkered flag. Car looks really good going through the third and fourth turns. Off turn number 4 he comes. Makes it off there with room to spare. Checker flag. Pole run 91.484 miles an hour on lap 2. Average speed 125.271. And Seth Cole is now on the pole. Hey, that rhymes, don't it? And with the several cars left to go here, so Seth Cole, see if does that lap hold up? Well, we'll find out in just a few cars from now. So the first champion to hit the track right now is Dillon Poteet with a new look on his number 22 car. We usually see him with the Caterpillar cars. Here he's driving the gold NBNA car, the gold, green, and silver machine. Caterpillar sponsorship, I'm sure, somewhere on the car, I'm sure, but Poteet makes it through turns 1 and 2. Not yet a winner this season. He won once last season. That was at Bristol, Tennessee, in the first race of the season. Over there, at least. He'll make it into turn 3 right now. Comes off the 4th turn on the pit road. He'll bring it to the attention of the MBNA Caterpillar crew as he comes on the pit road. Poteet's first lap, 159.400 miles an hour. So that's that first lap's about, I think it's the fastest of the whole bunch. And he has overshot his pit, so Poteet has to back it up a little bit. That's the second fastest first lap, I should say. The fastest first lap was a 159.617 by Phil Parker. The crew already going to work on the car. This pit stop for Poteet is going to be a good one, and it is a good one. A 14.7 for Poteet. Comes on back on the pit road, and now let's see what he does on the racetrack, I should say, and he'll do a second lap. You overshoot your pit on the pit stop, though, that will hurt your second lap, though. We'll see how much it does hurt Poteet. Well, he drove that one hard through the third and fourth turns. Car stuck on the bottom of the track as he comes out the fourth turn. Makes it out with room to spare as he comes out across the checkered flag. 89.407 on lap 2. So the average lap for Poteet, 124.403. So not the slowest average overall, but it's still pretty good for Dillon Poteet as he comes on. As he completes his qualifying run, we will have, as we prepare for our next qualifier on the track. So next car up to qualify right now is their seasons 2, 16, and 19 champion Joshua Osborne, number 78 Tracker Boats, 5 Energy Toyota, picking up 5 Energy as a sponsor for just this race into Winston. He might run into 600 as well. We'll see how it happens here. That 78 team. Driving a car of one of his favorite drivers, Martin Truex Jr. Osborne has not yet won this season. Yeah, he sits right now number 2 in the standings behind Kyle Mathews in the points after the last race in the Tour at Sonoma. That 78 team has been very, very consistently quick all season long. As he comes his way through third and fourth turns right now, Osborne makes his way off turn number 4. Makes it through there very carefully. Now he'll see if he can try to make as much time as he can on pit road, and he'll make his way towards his pit stall, which is a smart move as it comes down to the attention of his 5 Energy crew. And like Poteet, Osborne also has overshot his pit. Didn't quite get it backed up as quick as Poteet did, but we'll see what happens on the stop for Osborne and on the second lap as well. We said if you overshoot your pit on the pit stop, though, it does hurt your second lap. We'll see how much it hurts Osborne. Didn't hurt Poteet all that much. And a good pit stop for Osborne's crew of 14.6, equaling the time that Matt Haas's team put out. And Osborne trying to drive the low line there to see if it'll shorten the lap time up at all. He'll make his way through the third and fourth turns. That's the problem with I guess we might say the problem with running the low line on a track like Charlotte. It doesn't quite work as opposed to if you ran at Daytona or Talladega for your qualifying laps, obviously. And that didn't work for Osborne at 85.145 on lap 2, and an average speed of 119.905. So Osborne next to the slowest out of the average lap runs, and I'm sure he's not real pleased about that neither. So coming on the racetrack right now, car number 12, the All-Tail Mobile 1 Dodge, is Johnny Gardner, season 8 champion of this series as he comes on the racetrack right now. Of course, Gardner racing with a heavy heart here, as we mentioned, the last couple races after having lost his grandmother. Obviously, it's just as of this recording a couple of days ago. And like I said, sometime before the end of the season, he would like to win one for his grandmother for sure, as well as for the whole family, obviously. So, but the man from, I think, from New York, I believe too, is where he's from, is now coming off turn number 2. Brings the All-Tail Dodge screaming down the backstretch into turn number 3, as he'll bring it to the attention of the All-Tail crew. On the pit road he goes. And the first lap of 157.678 for Gardner. So an okay first lap, I will say, not the best we've seen out of the everyone who's qualified so far. Pit crew goes to work on the car. He'll see what the pit stop ends up being. We've seen a lot of 14-second stops. Not for the All-Tail crew, though. 15.2 for Johnny Gardner. Needs to be an average speed of 125.271 set by Seth Cole. That's for the pole so far. We still got 4 cars left to qualify after this, so we still got Jessica Shelton, Charles Sandfer, Kyle Mathews, and Cole Deaver in that order. Off turn 4 goes Gardner. See what his second lap's going to end up being. Brings it down to the start-finish line. Checkered flag waves under the over the all-tail Dodge. 91.189 on the second lap. Good second lap though, but not enough for the pole. 124.433. That's the that's the average lap overall for Johnny Gardner. So 10 cars down and 4 left to go here at Charlotte. Well, you've seen the number 17 car out of this lady all season long, but she has chosen to go somewhere different for the All-Star race. Yep, that Mac number 94 can only be one driver, and it's the 5-time series champion, Jessica Shelton. She's up on the racetrack right now. And she also has a race win this season, despite running part-time this season. And, of course, she won her race this season at North Wilkesboro in the first Union 400. Driving a 1997 Ford Thunderbird is what she is driving here. Into turn number 1 she goes here as they go through, as the lap to beat, of course, again, 125.271 by Seth Cole. That's his lap to average to beat. In the third turn, now Shelton will start slowing down for pit road to bring the attention to her crew. On the pit road she goes. Shelton's first lap, an okay 157.233. That's her lap, and she makes it to a stop perfectly. And see what the McDonald's crew can do as they makes the pit stop. Looks good so far. And a good stop for Shelton's team, 14.6. That equals the best set by Joshua Osborne and Matt Haas. So Shelton has equaled the best pit time of the pit stops portion of the qualifying run. Now let's see what Shelton's second lap is going to end up being. 157.2. That's going to be a little bit difficult to put up a lap fast enough to beat the average. Off turn number 4 she comes. There's Shelton across the start-finish line. Takes the checkered flag. Second lap, a 91.445. An excellent second lap. Almost beat the best second lap of the entire qualifying session by Seth Cole at 91.484. But just a little bit short, though. Lap average overall is a bit short anyway, 124.339. But nonetheless, a good second lap for Shelton. Good pit stop as well. Just if only a better first lap could have happened. And up on the racetrack right now, here with 3 cars left to go, counting this one, is Charles Sandfer, 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. He's on the track right now, driving a 1998 Chevrolet. He's been driving a 97 model all season long. This is a 98 he's driving. It's awful close to the wall into turn number 1. Sandfer sends it off into the turn. Comes off turn number 4, makes it on the attention of the Rainbow Warriors. Is what the pit crew's called, obviously. Sandfer makes it down. First lap, a 158.511 on the first lap for Charles Sandfer at least. And here comes the pit car to attention of the crew. 14.6, the best pit stop we've seen by 3 of the pit crews, the 18, the 78, and the 94 crews. And that pit stop, I don't think Sandfer's going to like it. A 15.4 out of the DuPont team. Sandfer's really going to have to send it on lap number 2 here if he hopes to have a shot to beat the average of a lap of 125.271. 2 cars left to go after this. That would be Kyle Mathews and Cole Deaver. Second lap for the California Crusher as he comes off the 4th corner. Sandfer comes across checkered flag. Second lap a 90.752. Which brings the average lap to 124.631. So 2 cars left to go, and we'll see how it ends up here at Charlotte after here for All-Star qualifying after these 2 cars. So 2 cars left to go for Winston All-Star is qualifying here, and here is something different you'll see. You used to seeing the Coors Light number 42 Pontiac. Well, Kyle Mathews, this is one of Kyle Mathews' favorite 42 schemes, and he is running this for the All-Stars this season. The number 42 Haviland Dodge is what he's driving here. Yes, Haviland showing up to Charlotte with 2 cars in this race. There, one for KB Enterprises with Kat Batson, who's in the Winston Open, by the way, and one with Kyle Mathews driving this car for his own team. Kyle, a proud Buckeye and a proud American too, no question about it. Not to mention a huge racing and wrestling fan, and of course, what is he not a fan of? I guess you might say. That's a good question. Comes down to pit road for his first lap here, or for his pit stop here. See what Kyle runs on his first lap of 1:57.48. First lap speeds seem to be dropping off. We've been seeing a lot of 1:59s here, but the lap speeds have been kind of dropping off a slight bit for some of the drivers here. And that pit stop for Mathews, 15.2 out of the Haviland Dodge team. And Mathews one of the very few to not slip and slide off pit road. That's been a problem for some of the cars, by the way, too. They have to exit pit road rather gingerly to keep from having to slip and slide, though. Of course, some people are not taking the consideration is to take off pit road in 2nd gear, whereas if you take off in 1st, you can slip and slide all over the place. But nonetheless, Mathews brings his number 42 car off turn number 4. Let's see what his second lap is going to end up being. Checker flag waves for the 42 Dodge. 90.171 on lap 2. So the average lap speed, 123.825 miles an hour. So Kyle Mathews completes his lap. 1 car left to go. Can anybody knock Seth Cole off the pole? Well, we'll find out after this last car ends up qualifying. So that will bring up the last car to qualify here for the Winston All-Star race. That's 13 cars are down and 1 left to go, and it's the season 21 Castrol GTX Cup Series champion, Cole Deaver. The man from the state of Georgia, in fact, basically around the Georgia-Florida line almost, so his home track really would be Daytona instead of Atlanta. Driving the cars of his all-time hero, Dale Earnhardt, as he comes off the 4th turn. He in fact won that championship with the Earnhardt scheme in season 21, driving the 1993 Lumina. And Cole will be the first to tell you that was the best day of his life when that happened. After clinching it all at Homestead Miami Speedway that very day. Average speed of the beat, 125.271. See if Deaver comes to that. He'll come off turn number 4 on the pit road he goes. He'll bring it on slowly, as a lot of the drivers have had. Now remember, there's been a first lap fall off of this in the last few laps. This one no exception, 156.608 for Cole Deaver on his first lap. So he'll bring the car to the attention of the GM Goodwrench team. And see what, and the pit stop looks good so far. 4 tires, splash of gas, and away goes Deaver in a 14.7. A good stop for Deaver's team. And so he'll bring that black number Chevy out for hopefully would be a bonsai second lap. Keeps that car stuck on the bottom of the racetrack as he comes off turn number 2. That Chevy screams his way into turn 3 now. Let's see what his second lap is going to end up being. Probably not going to be enough for the pole, but sometimes you never know. And that second lap, we'll see what happens on that 4th turn. Checker flag waves for the GM Garant Chevy, and the fastest second lap ever at 91.778 miles an hour, almost 92 miles an hour. However, that puts only Deaver. However, that lap average wise, that only puts Deaver 9th on the list. That's at 124.193 miles an hour. So qualifying is over, and Seth Cole is your pole sitter for the season 24 Winston All-Star Race. We'll be right back with the lineup right after this. Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we are showing you now the starting lineup for the season 24 Winston All-Star Race, and that's by the way not counting the 5 additional cars we will have the top 5 finishers, I should say, from the Winston Open. That will be run, of course, as always, before the Winston All-Star Race is to commence. 14 cars have qualified for Winston All-Star Race, of course, by virtue of winning races or championships, as we mentioned before. And the other 27 in the field, well, they're going to have to try to qualify their way in via the Winston Open. So there's the line we're scrolling for you on the screen right now. Seth Cole is your pole sitter with an average lap of 125.271. Zach Rogers will start second in this season's event. Starting in row 2 will be the Hendrick cars, car 25, Phil Parker, and number 24, Charles Sandfer will start this race in 4th. Starting 5th, inside of the 3rd row, we'll have number 12, Johnny Gardner, and number 22, Dillon Poteet will start in the 6th position. Starting 7th is Quinten Moore in the 89 machine, and beside him will be the 5-time champ Jessica Shelton. Has never won an All-Star Race yet, though. We'll see if this season, can this year finally be the season? Well, we'll find out. As it comes on, Shelton will roll off 8th for that race this season. Starting 9th will be car number 3, Cole Deaver in the GM Goodwrench Chevy. And beside him, in the 10th position is Kyle Mathews with that Jane McMurray 42 Haviland look. And starting row 6 will be Matt Haas, number 18, and number 00, Cav Shearer. This time, at least he didn't overshoot his pit this time. But still a slow second lap at 122, a slow overall lap at 122.707. Starting shotgun in the 7th row for the moment, Joshua Osborne in 78, and number 43, Mike Becker. So the good news for Becker, he will not start last in the Winston Open, in the Winston All-Star Race there, because the last place starters will be the top 5 finishing position in order of how they finished in the Winston All-Star Open. That is to say, if you win the All-Star Open, you will get the 15th starting position, and second place finisher will get 16th, third place finisher will get 17th, and so on and so forth down the line. So it'll be 19 starters in this season's Winston All-Star Race, so that should be an interesting race here today. And so we thank you for joining us for qualifying here. As always, if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on the channel. We got interesting gaming videos, whatever president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole is out for his channel. Be sure to check out our other offline series, the Castrol, the Dorsal Cup series, the Bowers All Pro series, the Marvel Studios Cup series from Freshman 899's channel, as well as keep your eyes on a brand new Xfinity series that Seth Cole is doing on this channel as well. And that's basically it, and also some online races on this channel as well. So we will see you for the Winston All-Star Race. For now, this is James Paulson in production of the NNSCRA offline racing at its best. We will see you for the Winston All-Star Race.